Hello, hello, good people. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're doing well. I'm back again to the community with our weekly live with like branding session that we do with Patrice Bisiot. Welcome everyone to today's stream, and today we gonna like have that very valuable session that we had previously last week on like your question and our answer from the like hearing from the experts. So I'm very excited to like have you guys like reading out your questions, answering them. And also I am always very much like personally I get a lot of benefit actually hearing to these things and like the suggestions that Patrice shares. So Patrice, give hi to the community today.
Bonjour.
Yeah, here comes the iconic bonjour. And after the intro, we'll be back with all, like today's session. I know you guys are very much excited. So just, like stay with us. Thank you.
Where I'm trying to get to the core of her to be like, what's happening in your head? Everything is attached to how many times today did you judge someone from the way they look?
We're gonna do little teams of 2 and 3 people. See how they work as a team. Relationship, whether it's romantic relationship. It started on the red carpet. Mankind's creation. Now, we're bridging it in Mary, Patrice, that is all enough. She's a brand well.
Woohoo! That was a great one, very energetic one, and I love, like every time I see it, such an inspirational journey, Patrice. Like, like I'm very proud to, like see what you have achieved so far and the way you are thriving to help more people. That's amazing.
Thank you, Jawad. Thank you so much. But you're just as inspirational too.
No, thank you so much for your kind words. But in the meantime, we can see Sabekun joined us saying hello, Patrice. We can see Arnav join us saying, hey, Patrice, happy to hear from you. I can see Foyes, good to see you both. He is saying hello to Patrice. So, anyways, you guys keep commenting, but we have to, like I will try to read out some of the comments, but we need to, like start today's session. Patrice, the stage is yours. And, like you can start with an introduction or like whatever you want to talk about today, whatever you special like special value that you have for the audience. You can start with that. Meantime, if I have any question, I'm going to ask it to you. Okay.
Perfect. Hi,
Thank you,
everyone. All
Patrick.
right. So today, as we did last week, as I do every week, it's about branding. It's about understanding that the way I started my career was with hair and fashion. But I understood in the process of appearance and how to make yourself look better. It was actually really the process of understanding what do you tell the world? How do you transmit the message upon what you're wearing, all the visual cues you have on? That is how you work. I work with leaders, celebrities, or entrepreneurs on a higher level, and that got me to understand. All right. This is not just looking good; it's also feeling good. But now, feeling how you want people to understand who you are as a leader. And that's how my message, little by little, got refined. That's how I started crafting a coaching program with my friend Cindy Brown, who helped me crafting it to speak to corporate to understand, hey, I can not only help you individually, now I can help you with your company. I can help you aligning all the pieces, whether you're running an ad campaign. And now it's like, all right, you were not so precise about your avatar. Maybe all the pieces are in the wrong order. Let's go about how people think. How do they emotionally, mentally connect with what you're saying? And that's how it grew little by little. My first book was definitely a landmark of being like, okay, now I'm seeing more and more what I do, which is helping people not just with their appearance, but their emotions and how to align both together every morning. And my second book, Mind Your Impact, was in a deeper dive on, hey, the way you show up, that nanosecond impact you make, that's the only one people will ever remember. So let me tell you a story, and each chapter is a celebrity, a leader, an entrepreneur who have actually thought that appearance was just for others, and because it's all for celebrities, influencers, billionaires. No, it is you as well. You are concerned every day, whether you go to work, you're in front of a screen, or you're selling something. You are, or you go on a date, which is the same principle. You're selling you. It's not because it's money or currency. Selling does not always mean money. It means it's a transaction. So in order for you to obtain that job interview, pitching the biggest client of your life, or getting on that review for promotion, the premise is the same. How do you transmit that message so clearly that when you walk into the room, within a nanosecond impression, which is the only one people will ever remember, it's like, got it, got it, got it, got it. And now this is how you go about building your brand. Building your brand is not something magical. This is not something you drink and then it happens. It's like you're taking pieces, assemble them together and say, that's it, that's my brand. Branding is about you. Your brand is the core of you. I know it's hard at the beginning to understand, because it's like, what does that mean? I thought that was my logo, my website, my business. It is part of it. But as a leader, whether you work for yourself or you work for someone, it's the same thing. You are a leader. You lead your own life. And for that to happen, you have to understand that your brand is who you are. And personal, professional, they come together, because when you leave work and you go home, you're the same person as leaving home in the morning and go to the workplace or meet your client or whatever you do. That is the same person. So that's also why branding is not something that you separate personal to professional. There's only one of you, and that person is the person showing up at every moment of their lives. That's your brand.
Absolutely, absolutely, Patrice. I think that was full of, like value, and I was able to resonate, and I can see that the audience also resonated. They're, like agreeing to you, whatever you said, and also asking some questions. So let's move to some of the questions. So I can see here, okay. Which question I take from here? Okay, so here is a question from Foyes. He is saying, how do consistency and authenticity contribute to a successful brand? Because, like in our community, we talk always about authenticity, how, like important it is, but we also want to know how it can actually contribute to the success, because, like how important it is. If you can, Patrice, give it, like a more in-depth view of it.
Yeah, authenticity is the hardest thing to master, because first, fear comes first. It's just a human thing to do. And the first thing you do is like, ooh, yes, okay, I want everybody to love me. I want to sell my product. So I want everybody to love what I have for sale, whether it's a service or a product. Authenticity is mandatory. Why? Because when you meet someone, and let's think just on a social setting, you're in a gathering, whether it's friendly because it's a barbecue, it's at work, or it's a network event. Same thing. When you walk into the room, you look around and you feel like, who is like really responding to my vibe? Because we are vibrational beings, and it starts with that. So just a little bit of biology here. We made out of water and we react to vibrations. The way you sending your vibes, that's the vibe you receive. And you know how you talk about gut feeling, like I don't trust him because of I don't feel so good. I'm not sure about her. I don't know. There's something off. Same thing here. We all do that to each other. So authenticity is the first thing that comes, because now if you walk into the room, now you ignite what? Trust. And trust is the second thing. After authenticity, that's the thing you need in order to build that relationship. Because if you don't trust the person across, well, you're not going to let them come to your house for dinner. You're not going to do business with them, or you're not going to sell them anything because you feel like maybe they won't pay you. So trust is mandatory as well. But you need first to show up, and that is the most difficult thing to master. So for that to happen, in order to show your authenticity, is push yourself out there. Again, it's like branding. It's not magical. Building your brand is not a magical trick. Authenticity and mastering your authenticity takes weeks and months, and it could take years to get to saying, yeah, you know what, when I walk into the room, got it. But for that to happen, identify your fear, understand who you are, understand your passion. This is the thing too. Oh, I want to go out there. Oh, there's money to be made in that area. Okay, let's say it's an IT service, because now, of course, especially with AI and all, so many agencies are running into the whole. Yes, you can make money with that. Okay, but if your passion is not in it, how authentic are you? Oh, you're not. Well, if you're not authentic, there is no transaction. And people could feel that. That vibe I was just talking about, that's how it works. You walk in, you're forcing someone to liking something you don't really believe in fully, or else you don't believe in yourself fully. Well, the person feels like, well, am I going to trust that person? If I cannot trust them, well, then there's no relationship. So authenticity is not just some guru master thing. It's actually real. The moment you own your space and you're good and in your skin, you feel good, you get what you wear, you own it. Everything about you represents and reflects who you are. Now it's authenticity. Now you're building your brand. Now you're getting out there. Now, because of that, people are trusting you. Now the energy is flowing, and now you're ready to conquer the world and be successful.
Absolutely, Patrice. Absolutely. I think, I think Foyes asked that, and Foyes, you got your answer, and, you now you will be able to. It's not for Foyes only, it's for the whole community, because a lot of people, sometimes gets bored. Hey, you guys are always talking about authenticity, because it is important, guys, because, authenticity is a very strong part in your branding. Yeah, we all actually have some idols that we have, and we always try to imitate them, which at the end of the day doesn't make such values, whatever, like Patrice said. I'm just, I loved it. I loved the gist, whatever it was. And thank you so much for adding value, Patrice,
Thank you.
whatever you do always. Now, let's take another question. Uh, okay. I can see so many questions. Let's take this one. Okay. If someone already has a negative impression to overcome, what step can they take to rebuild their personal brand and create a positive image moving forward?
All
So
right, the
he's
part I'm
asking
missing
like
in the
how,
question is who has a negative impact? The person you're meeting, or you're talking about yourself? That's
no,
that's
no,
what
no,
I didn't get.
yourself. Like let's say it's about me. I have a negative impression and I want to overcome it, and like rectify my image, whatever I have currently. So what are the steps, or how we can do that strategically? I think that's the question is.
That's a great question. Yes. Okay. We all have days. That's the thing. People think, for instance, actually, because I'm coaching it every day is like a perfect day. And yes, I am grateful for everything that I receive in my life. But I have days where it's like, not so great. We all have those. Now, when you recognize that and you could feel today, I'm kind of off balance, like it doesn't go. You have two ways to go about it. Just stay home and forget about trying to convince someone to buy something from you, to date you, to have a relationship with you. Because today, if you're off balance, this is the vibe you're going to transmit and portray, and no one wants anything to do with you. Now, what I do is first, when I'm in that position where I wake up and it's like, I don't know if today is so great. First of all, I recognize my the luck that I have, how grateful I am for my life. Already right there, it's like, okay, well, why am I having this drama in my head? And we all do. That shadow box keeps on going. And I'm like, okay. Now, if I recognize that my life is great, okay. To calm down, I do a guided meditation every single morning, at least 15 minutes of it to 30 minutes upon how I feel. Guided meditation gets me to raise my vibration in a way where I'm like, okay, now I'm feeling already a little better. It's inspirational. It makes me think of me. It puts me in space. It puts me emotionally, it puts me mentally in a place where it elevates me. So now I get up and I'm like, all right, now what's next? All right, so what's next? Whatever habit you have that's something good for you, whether it's journaling, having your coffee, sitting on your porch and looking at Mother Nature. You need a little something to remind you of the present moment. And this is how you're going to start shifting the whole, I'm not feeling so great today at my brand, because you are your brand, is not going to be so great. And I'm going to go out there not really doing anything. And by doing those rituals in the morning, there again, they're not some Buddhist made up stories. It's vital for your brand to be you. You need to start. Whether you go to the gym, you run around the block, you go swimming. Again, maybe you read a chapter of your favorite book. Every morning is again and again and again. It's not because, oh, I meditated yesterday, I'm good. No, you're not. We are, again, vibrational, emotional beings. So our emotions are up and down and around all day long. Now, to calm down and to actually have that even mind, you need that ritual to be every single morning. And now you're ready to take on the world, because now you're going to be higher in vibrations. Now you get out there. You have recognized that earlier I was not feeling so great. And if it keeps on lingering and you feel like, I don't know why, but today I'm just not feeling it, then don't force it. Don't try to make phone calls to sell something or go to a meeting and convince the person across from you, because they are not going to buy from you. Success starts with personal before it gets professional and you make your $1 million. Like I always have the question asked, like, how do I make my first $1 million? Chill. Recognize your peace, raise your vibrations, have your morning ritual, and now you can identify what does my day look like with a calm mind, and now you're ready for success.
Absolutely, Patrice. Absolutely. I think, like very few people, we all talk about success, but like when we all talk about hustling, we all talk about grinding, but there are some days that are bad days. There are some feelings that are bad. There are some impressions that, like we can't provide that in the right way. So I think you told up everything that like comes within and how to deal with it. So thank you so much again for like adding value. So now I'm taking a question from Brenda then Bastian. She is asking, what are the signs that a brand needs a rebranding? Because we were talking about like how we can structure or restructure it, right? So what are
Okay.
the signs that a brand needs a rebranding?
What are the signs a brand needs for what? I'm so sorry. Today the
So
audio is a
no
little
worries.
challenging.
A brand needs a rebranding. So like they need to rebrand their business
All
or
right.
like do it from the scratch or something like that.
Got it. All right. All right. For your brand to be successful, again, this is not something you build out of thin air. Your brand, you need to first identify, because it starts with you. And you, again, have to choose first something that aligns with you. If you're not passionate about what you do, if you're not into it so much where you know that this is something you're picking and every day is going to be what you're going to do. If it turns into a grind, if it turns into, ugh, another day at work, another day in my business, another day at doing whatever you choose to do, well, that's right there. There is no brand success that's going to come with it. So, first, your brand. And again, you are the leader of your own life. And that's the thing, too. People say, oh, I have 3 employees. I'm not really a leader. Well, you are a leader. You have one employee, you are a leader. You have a team under you, you are a leader. You have a family home, well, you're a leader. You are a leader no matter what. And you could be a single person, you have no family, but you are somewhere doing something, and either guiding, teaching, coaching, inspiring, whatever you do. So that is the first step. Recognize and step back and say, okay, am I happy? Why is it that people, when they turn, late 30s, early 40s, suddenly there's a shift, a midlife crisis? Really, people have not understood. This is not a crisis. It's actually a realignment. It's actually a beautiful thing. And that's why, because they finally realized 20 years later, oh my God, I hate that job. I hate what I do. I have that business. I cannot wait to sell it so I can move on to the next chapter of my life. Same thing. You want your brand to be successful. You want your business to align with your brand. You are the beginning of that journey, that story you tell by the way you look, by the way you express yourself. Now you're going to go about what do you do that you love doing so much. I was in a lunch on Sunday, and it was actually all girls, very powerful girls. It was very cool to hear them passionate. Like they were, a lot of them were in sales at a very very high level, senior level, and they will say, I love what I do, and I tried something else, and I went back to sales because at first I'm thinking, maybe sales is not for me. And they say, no, love it, love it, love it. Again, they're on a higher leader, senior level, but that's what I'm talking about. You want your brand to be successful. Start every day. Yes, you're going to have the nightmare clients. We were talking about it with a friend of mine last night at dinner, a hedge fund guy. Of course, we all go through it, and especially the higher the level of the clients, the more demand and whatever, an ego, an attitude, and whatever it is in between. It's okay. I mean, I can take that. Disrespect is where they cross the line, and that's what I'm not going to accept. But for your business to be successful, start with you. Is the business you pick? Okay, great. Now, how do I go about it? Oh, I'm going to push it and I'm going to just, no, 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 no. Be methodical. And also remember, walk before you run. I know for an entrepreneur, especially, and I was one of them, so I was guilty of it. Oh my God, you open your business? Okay, how much am I going to make? How many employees am I going to have by the end of the year? Mm-mm. Let's chill. Vision, mission, purpose. What do I want to do with this company? Are my finances safe and secure? And now my sound. Do I have enough money in front of me to look at a year of operation without making a dime? And I know people say, oh my God, that means I'm not going to make money. It's a negative perspective. No, it's actually realistic. You are going to make money. But if you already think that way, and I love attraction, and that's why I say we are vibrational beings. Energy is part of the business, it's part of your brand, it's part of how you build success. If you feel in your heart, it's going to work, but it's going to take a little time. Now you're in peace with that. But now, if you want to run and sprint before you even walk or even crawl, there is no success. So identify what you love doing every day, be strategic, be patient. Those three ingredients are going to make you a super success because you do what you love to do, you have a plan, and now everything is clear, and clarity brings you to success.
That's right, Patrice. That's right. And I'm not only agreeing to your words, but a lot of people I can see they're, like saying very complimentary words to you. So, like you were providing a lot of value that, like they were seeking. So thank you everyone for joining. And we will take some couple of more questions. You guys can, like continue asking questions. And I actually see a very good question here. So, I love this one. How to differentiate my brand from others? Like you want to stand out with your brand, how you can do that and like make yourself exceptional than the other ones.
Super question. Love the question. Why? Because there are two components in that question actually. Is how do you differentiate your brand to others? Well, first, you are unique. And as I explained, that's why we did part two last week, and today we're doing part one last week and part two today. Your brand, remember, is you. So now, of course, you go on social media and you see the people that have millions of followers. Oh my God, they're better. They have a better brand. What better brand do they have? What does that mean? Because often, again, the misconception of branding is money, the name, the fame, the influencing power. It's some of it is. But before you do that, your brand is unique. Your brand is just as good as the next one. And I don't care that you have 300 followers or you have 3,000 or 300,000. The premise is the same. You get inspired by people that are, already up there. I mean, already, by the way, an overnight success take 10 years. By the way, just saying. Yes, with now with digital, some of the things go faster. You hear those stories that people want to remember, but there are only a few of those that have created an app and they suddenly sell it for dozens of millions of dollars. Okay, great. That's inspirational. I love a good story. And they're in their 20s. It's like, wow. Now they have their whole life ahead of them. But your brand is you. You are unique. You in the morning get ready to get and project who you are, what you believe in, what you sell, what you have in the core of you. That's the values that you're sharing with the world. And that is how you don't differentiate your brands. Get inspired by some of the messages out there, absorb it, don't copy. This is the thing too, because it's like, oh, I'll lose some of myself because if they're successful, I should copy them. No, get inspired by them. Because now, if you think of it as a job interview, the HR that has seen 200 people for the last 2 or 3 days, they can't even take it anymore. And now they see the same black suit, the same tie, the same dress, the same hair, the same everything. It's like, who remembers who you are? Now you go. You go as you. You go with a pop of color. You go because you did something that's different, because your body language is expressing, I own my space. That's your brand. Your brand is better than the one next to you. And that's the brand too. You go to HR for like a job interview, your brand has to show up as you. And now, if you have this whole blend mix, and now you're rising above because now you own your space, you are ready to go, your brand is not better, but your brand is going to be noticed. That's called better because society likes to measure and everything is about competition, which is not. But it is what it is. So understand that when it's better, it's only because you rise to the top, because your vibration, your belief in yourself, what you have to sell, what you have to say, what you have to share, what you want people to understand is you, and that's your brand. Your brand is better than any other. Why? Just because it's you, you're unique. Embrace that, understand it, identify it, put it into a package, and get out there to conquer the world.
That sounds like, I'm pretty sure the way you described, like that will change the mindset of a lot of people, because always we are up to, like looking into the successful people and trying to, like copy the same thing. That doesn't, like take you a long way. So thank you so much for mentioning them. And I can see already a lot of people are there saying hi already. They just joined. Also, there are some questions, there are some compliments. I appreciate all of you guys for appearing. So I'm gonna take last two questions, and
Okay.
then we wrap it up for today. So the first question, like the second last question of today, is okay. Okay, I will keep this question for the last because I love this one and I want to end with this one.
Okay.
So give me okay. Uh, 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 um, Okay, should startups focus more on branding? How does logo design impact? What is the significance brand? What is so many good questions? It's hard for me to find a very good one because every question is, like very important and you know. Okay, I like this one, and this is actually something that we were talking about contributing to leadership, contributing to financial growth or career advancement, right? So somebody is asking, named John, that can personal brand directly contribute to my financial growth, and how it can enhance thought leadership in a specific industry.
Okay. I'll answer because they both really merge one question.
Yeah,
I mean, the two parts of the question are merging into one another.
yeah, right.
First, the answer is absolutely. Of course, your brand impacts your money. I wrote a ton of blogs on what does money has to do with branding. Does your brand makes money? Does your brand, is going to make you successful financially? Yes. Why? And we're really going back to what we were saying. It is. And I've done that actually with Jawad, because he talks to young entrepreneurs, which are a great example for the question and the answer. Because an entrepreneur, again, and I explained that a few minutes ago by nature, or explain at least, Rise, the topic is, there's the excitement. All right, now you feel, all right, so now you have identified, yes, okay, yeah, cool, I'm going to do that, okay. But now, if you are, again, you need to believe in what you do. For that to happen, you need to be clear. Vision, mission, purpose. If you just walk like a crazy horse, and you're just galloping and go, 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 and there is no plan, and it's like, oh, well, I'm not so sure, but I'm going to go. There is no success. So you need to chill at first. And now, if your brand is clear, which means your brand, remember, is you. In the morning, when you have, first you have identified what you're selling, what you're doing, what is your career about. Okay, great. Every day is a new day. It's not like I say, oh, I look great yesterday, today I can kind of slack. No, you can't. Your brand at all time is you. You don't know when you're going to be sitting at that bar for happy hours, and the person next to you is your next husband or wife. That's your next boss. That's your next best friend. That's how it works. Now you want to know if you're going to make money and you're going to be successful out of it. Yes, if you are consistent, because now that's the third part. First, you need to be like embracing yourself. That makes you having people trust you. Now, when they trust you, they want to do business with you. And if you show up every single day, make it your business, not to think of, or get on a Zoom call. How many people? Oh, don't look at me today. My hair is not so great. Well, I'm not really wearing something I love. Sorry, I just threw that on. Okay, now tell me how this conversation is taking me to wanting to do anything with you. That's how success works. Success is a mindset, is a state of mind, which was the word I was looking for. First, it's igniting that moment of, again, if you're authentic, you show up, and I can read that passion. I can read the feel that you live for what you do. Oh, now I want to hear what you have to say. Because remember, competition is everywhere. And that's, to me, motivating. For most people, it's the most fearful thing. To me, I've always took who is my competition and actually call them my help. Because to me, I look at what they do. Okay, cool. All right, but I'm different. So that's great. And I'm going to have my own grain of salt in the middle of it. And that makes me successful. It took me to be successful to embrace who I was. I tried too long for too many years to please the crowd. That's another component. Before success can come, if you are always worried about who's going to love you, who's going to hate you, who's going to throw something at you, the trolls out there, they're going to say something, and the more you rise, your notoriety, the more you're public, the more you're going to be on social media, the more followers, the more trolls you're going to get, for instance. But again, if you're not authentic and you're not creating that message with your heart, there is no success. There is no money to be made. You can just stay home and cook something because you have no business to be out there. So, of course, your brand is directly linked with success. It's not by magic. Oh, he got lucky. Oh, he inherited money. Oh, please, she got a rich husband. Okay. And maybe so. We have examples around us. I won't give that example because everybody's so crazy right now with politics. But, there are some leaders out there. Yeah, they got, his father gave him the beginning. That's true. But how did he multiply it by many hundreds of times? By showing up as him, his brand. Well, his brand made him believing in himself, believing in his message, vision, mission, purpose was super clear. Now, I'm going to go out there and make some money. I'm going to make some mean money. I'm going to make some serious money, whatever you want to say. But that is why your brand is the message you're sending out. You are the beginning of that leadership. You are the beginning of that journey you're conveying. The way you look is the story you tell people. Now, if that story is well told, I want to hear what you have to say. What do you have for sale? Okay. I wasn't sure maybe I need it, but you know what? Because you sold it to me well, because now I could trust you and the way you are, I feel like, yeah, I think this person knows what they're talking about. Now I want to go with them. And yes, your brand every single morning, again, slacking and hoping to God on a wing and a prayer you're going to do business or close that deal. No. Now, if you show up, you leave your door. Okay, now I'm ready. Yes, you are going to make money. You're going to sell something. You're going to link with somebody that can actually take you to the next level. So the answer is yes at all times.
Absolutely, absolutely. I strongly agree with you, Patrice, whatever you said, and I think it will be, like a very valuable asset. The suggestion that you made, and a lot of person will definitely rethink the way they're trying to do their business or like personal brand or like making money, whatever that is. So here comes the last question, and my most favorite question from Monique. She's asking, how does a brand collaboration or partnership contribute to growth and your personal brand? That's I think that's what she meant.
Beautiful question. In fact, somebody of your community that I met yesterday, Dr. Iris, it was actually part of your conversation. Ah, instead of, and we just literally, I just talked about it, the competition thing. Oh God, like I started with hair and fashion. You want to talk about competition? People say, oh my God, it's so competitive. I never looked at it that way. I thought, oh yeah, there's some people that have made a lot more success than me. They have more money, they're more famous, this, that, and the other. Okay. But now, if I look at it and talk to them, I'm going to learn something from them. Oh, and from learning something from them, that's going to ignite something in me to better what I'm doing. You're an artist, for instance. I mean, I watched people being masterful at what they were doing when I was, 15, 16, 17. So instead of saying, "Ugh, I'm going to be better than them, no, I thought, oh, wow, okay, let me learn. Now, fast forward, you're an adult. And I'm right in the middle of it. Literally, I'm running a campaign, uh, you know, with my team. That's exactly what we do. We're saying, hey, you have a community, I have a community. You do branding, but kind of different from me. Like you go from, you go about it in this way and that way. I do it in a much different way. Why don't we swap lead magnets? Meaning, you're going to tell your community, hey, wow, Patrice is really cool. He's doing this intuitive program where he aligns emotion and appearance to create success. Great. Now we get the person across from me to say, well, I went through challenges in life. Something unfair happened to me, it created anger. And now I built my brand upon healing. And healing is my brand. Great. Okay, let's swap and see what happened. That is crucial to know that if you think success is going to go solo, you're dead. I mean, dead. Business wise, you can keep your money, go on a vacation, buy a property, rent it, I don't, whatever you want to do with that money, don't even bother. Now, if you have an open mind of understanding that the world is a big place, and you have good people in it and people that actually have value to add on to your brand because their brand and who they are and what they believe in and the core value of their own guts is actually going to do good for you instead of looking at it. And I had the case too when some people I could feel in the Zoom call they were very insecure, and one said actually it's like I mean like, oh, I'm joking. He said, well, as we say in French, behind every joke there's 50% of truth. And he said, oh, but you're not going to steal my clients. Just relax over here because I don't need your client. Would I add on new business and new client? Or would I say no to money? Well, actually, sometimes I do if it's not the right fit. But of course, I want to increase my business. Of course, I want to make more money. I want to have new followers. I want to have new good people that belong to my community. But when he said that, I thought, how sad. You are telling me you're a leader and you have a community and you have I don't know how many hundreds or thousands of people on your email list. Okay, it's a good premise for business, but what you just said is horrible. And you think I want to do business with you now? No, because if you look at me as a competitor, law of attraction is going to bring us in the middle and it's going to be like a big mishmash of nightmare, and I'm good. So yes, the communion between community, between people, ask them questions, Listen, everyone has a story to tell. Again, we were talking about it with Jawad's girls, from his community, one of his clients, Dr. Iris. We were talking about that, how everyone has a story to tell. That means go to groups, go to people, listen to people, pay attention to what they say. It will enrich in you because one little nugget of something that resonates suddenly and hits the mark in your brain is going to be like, oh yeah, wow, that makes a big difference. So don't look at people with, if you look at it as a competition, you're doing two things. You're defeating yourself already, so forget it. You introducing bad law of attraction because that's your negative, and you think those people are going to either take your business, they're bigger than you, they're richer than you, they're taller, thinner, more beautiful, more something than you. You're not born to do that. But if you are calm, again, if you go back in the morning and calm your mind and understand that, wow, yeah, actually, that's true. I'm going to go to those Facebook groups. They're free, they're great access to. They're communities that will listen to you. And if you are intentional about the content you share and not just like, I'm going to sell them something also, because that's the other way. First, chill and understand that this will help to grow your business because by listening, watching, paying attention to details, now that's how you're going to see that the world, instead of a competition, is a unity, is a way to get together as one. And that's going to help you grow your business, your career, your relationships, socially, family, neighborhood, whatever you choose to do, because now you're paying attention to others and now you're going into a community that you want to be part of.
This is, I think, the most powerful thing we discussed today. And I think we should, like finish with the essence today that, like competition is not the thing. Collaboration is, like the revolution. And, like if you were sensible enough, you were smart enough, you will be, like you will want to become like a collaborator, not a competitor. So like this is the last fine message for today for you guys, for this community. We had almost 1 hour long session for you. Patrice gave his best, like advices, suggestion, what he learned in all these years. So guys, thank you so much for joining us, commenting us, sharing your questions, and sorry that I couldn't take all of your, like questions, queries, or suggestion, whatever you say. But definitely don't forget to connect next week so that like we can actually answer some of your unanswered questions. So thank you so much again, guys. And with that thing, we will be wrapping up. Just some last few words from Patrice, and then it's a wrap.
Yes, I mean, today with what we talked about, sum it up as saying, be intentional about what you choose to do. Be passionate
Mhm,
about what you want to do every single day when you wake up and love what you do. Be grateful. Enjoy the ride. Yes, it again, some of the people will take it as some Buddhist thing that I read somewhere. I don't.
mhm,
I apply it every day. I know many of my friends are doing it. Some of the leaders that I actually watch and pay attention to, that's what they do.
mhm.
So get out there, have fun. There is only one life that was given. One gift is this one life.
Right.
Make it count. Don't squander it on all those insecurities and those things that are out there, and have fun with it every day.
Absolutely, absolutely. With that fine essence and with this kind and like powerful words, we're ending up our session here today. Thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful day ahead. Enjoy the rest of your day, and like try to implement what you have learned. And we'll be proud enough to see you shine in your career. Thank you so much, guys. It's a bye bye for you.